6:03 on a wet Wednesday morning, May 28th. We're at 49 degrees. The rain could be heavy at times this morning. Temps in the mid-60s. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
And I'm John Aaron. The top local story we're following. It is the first official step toward redeveloping the RFK Stadium campus and possibly bringing the Washington Commanders back to D.C. WTOP's Mike Murillo tells us the D.C. Council now has hard numbers so it can make its decision.
In the $3.7 billion deal, we know taxpayers would be footing about $1 billion of it, and we're seeing some of those numbers laid out in both Mayor Muriel Bowser's 2026 proposed budget and her 6-year capital improvement plan. We know $500 million will go toward horizontal infrastructure, $181 million will go to Events DC to support parking, and $202 million will go towards making sure roads and rails are ready. Another $89 million will be used for a new sportsplex. The mayor says the project will bring.
The stadium, we estimate 14,000 construction jobs, 2,000 permanent jobs, $14 billion in direct spending.
And an estimated $4 billion in tax revenue, though some members of the city council are still concerned about the price tag for taxpayers in the district. Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Election 2025 on WTOP. Early in-person voting begins this morning for a special election in Prince George's County. Democrat Aisha Braveboy is facing Republican Jonathan White in the race to finish the remaining 2 years of Angela Alsobrook's term as county executive, who won a U.S. Senate seat last year. Democrat Shayla D. Adams Stafford will compete against Republican Fred Price Jr. for the District 5 County Council seat. Voting begins at 10 this morning and will last until June 2nd. Election day is June 3rd. Those filling in mail-in ballots must return those by 8 p.m.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore, who is the nation's only black governor, is repeating his position on his veto of a bill to study reparations tied to the nation's history of slavery. More now from WTOP's Kate Ryan.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore's veto of a bill that would have created a commission to detail the harms of slavery and call for possible reparations sparked some blowback from lawmakers who'd supported it. Asked about his decision on Tuesday, Governor Moore told reporters now is not the time to study, quote, what we already know.
I think this is the time for action, and I'm really proud of the work that I've done in partnership with the legislature, where we've been able to make historic investments in our HBCUs. We've increased investments in HBCUs since I've been the governor.
Along with increased funding for those historically black colleges and universities, Moore said,
we've done expungement reform. We've done procurement reform. I signed the largest mass pardon in the history of the United States of America.
But Maryland State Senator Anthony Muse, a sponsor of the bill, told WTOP earlier that he'd work for an override of the veto as soon as possible. Kate Ryan, WTOP News.
There is a new way to pay to ride Metro. The Tap Ride Go system allows you to pay for Metro rail rides right at the turnstile by tapping a credit or debit card. You can also use your phone. Metro GM Randy Clark says testing has already started at a number of stations, and it should be available system-wide by this weekend. Smart Trip cards will still work, and Metro will continue to issue commemorative cards for major events.
Happening tonight, Northwest Stadium will be hosting some of the biggest names in music as its summer concert series kicks off. Metallica will take the stage at 6 p.m. Metro's telling fans that Morgan Boulevard and downtown Largo will run past normal service hours, as it'll be the only stations open for entry. Other stations will be exit only. On Monday, Post Malone and Jelly Roll will perform. Then June 18th, it's Kendrick Lamar and SZA, followed by Beyonce on July 4th and 7th. The series will conclude with The Weeknd on August 2nd.
Coming up on WTOP, a major automaker cuts jobs after weak sales numbers. Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.